In this world, we all know that if you want to move from one place to the other, right? So you have to move from one place to the what to a different geographical location. So you need a medium of a transportation, right? So a transport. Is that okay? Maybe transportation here. Now this can either be by foot or by bus or by a vehicle or by air, right? So by anything. So you just need a medium of transportation that can convey from one place to the other. If that happens in mathematics, then we say that the bus, right? So in this case, you are limiting ourselves to what a bus. The bus that is taking you from one place to the other is what we are going to call what a mapping, right? So this is what a mapping. We are calling it a mapping. This can be what a machine or it can be anything you can think of, right? So this can be necessarily anything that you can think of. Now, if this is what we are calling what a mapping, then we are going to say that this is just a bus, right? So I have a very beautiful bus here, right? So this is just a bus. What will happen if someone is going by foot, or if someone is going by what? So by foot here, maybe you can go by your private or your private jet or maybe your private car, right? So it can be anything. So if that happens, then we are going to have two different types of mapping as that is solely concerned for what a high school. Maybe you may have a different types of what mapping in the near future. But as at now, we are going to limit ourselves to what a linear mapping and a what exponential what mapping. So in this video, we are solely going to talk about what a linear mapping, right? So what is a linear mapping? If you say something is a linear, there are some certain rules that you have to consider or follow before you can easily see that this is what we are calling what a linear mapping. Now let's demonstrate this thing by using what a very simple questions. Okay, this is a very simple question that I have here that says that we have our x mapped to y, and then 1 maps to 1, 2 maps to 3, and so on and so forth. Now, for you to have a clear understanding of this thing, the questions that they are asking is to determine the rule of what for this mapping, right? So the mapping here, that is the bus. So which type of bus or which medium of transportation that we are going to use here or that they've used. Is that okay? We don't know now. The X values here are the people, let's say, are the people from the starting. So from the scenario that I made at the beginning of this video is that this one is going to convey people from what one place to the other. Is that okay? So these people here are what we are going to call what the X value because these people are in their own home, right? So the bus needed to convey these people to their destination, their various destinations. So in this case, let's say they are going to what, a college, right? So they are going to a college. So the bus need to convey all these people here from one place to the other. Okay, now these people are what we are going to call the x values. Is that okay? So to visualize, you can see that the x here are the people on top here. So this is one person, this is the second person, this is the third and then fourth and so on and so forth, right? So in what we are going to convey, like let's assume that these are the five people, five different people, right? So and so on and forth, it continues. Now once they get to their destination, this is where they are going, right? If you convey you, then you take you to this place. So if you take this guy, you are also going here. If you take you are also going here. But here we know the people that we are taking and then where they are going. Is that okay? But we don't know exactly what brings them. Is that okay? Or what conveys them from what their starting point to their finish. That is exactly what the question is asking us. So to find the rule. So that's what we are going to call the rule of for this mapping. Now, we know that you have two different types of mapping. So that is what the linear here and then the exponential, right? So how do you determine one question is one given question is what a linear or what an exponential? So this is the key, right? So this is the key. You first of all have to determine what the constant difference. So what I mean by the constant difference is that but before I proceed, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this, right? Okay. Now before I proceed, these are the technical names. So these people here are what we are going to call what codomain, right? So codomain here. Is that okay? So these people, we are just giving them a name. Don't let this thing worry you. So these people here, of course, they are the Y values, right? So these people here are what we call the codomain, and then the top here will be what domain, right? So these people here, those are in the what, their various homes are what we call them what domain. So once they get to their destinations, then they become what the codomain. Is that okay? Okay, so perfect. Now, for you to determine a certain given mapping is what a linear or exponential, all that you have to do is that you have to determine the difference. You have to check the difference. So the difference between what the codomain. Now I can use the term, right? So the difference between these people. These people, what I mean by the difference is that this one subtracted by this, and then this subtracted by that, and this subtracted by that, this subtracted by. Look at the arrangement. The arrangement matters. Is that okay? So the second one minus what the first one. So of course this can be this guy minus this. So what I so picking the first one is that you have 3 minus 1, right? So that is equal to 2. So if you come here, that should be what 5 minus what minus 3. So 5 minus 3, that is equal to 2. So okay, and then you have 7 minus 5. Of course, that is also equal to 2. Okay, so look at the trend here. Look at the trend and see what is happening. You can see clearly that everything here is of 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So this is what we call a constant, right? A constant difference in the what in the codomain. Is that okay? So that is the constant difference of in the codomain, right? These people here. Now, if that happens, you just need to go and check the top one as well. Is that okay? So you have to go and check everything here on top here to check whether you are still having what the same constant difference. Right? Of course, this is just an obvious. So everything is 1, 1, 1 because 2 minus 1 will give me a 1. 3 minus 2, that should be my 4 minus 3, and so on and so forth. So you can see that here we are having 1, 1, 1, 1 across what all the difference, and then down here we are having what 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So if that happens, we are guaranteed that the given what mapping is what a linear. Okay. If you want to know more about our exponential, make sure that you subscribe to the channel or comment down below. Right? Okay. Now that we determine that is what a linear, so what is the bus? Which car are they going to take? Right? So which bus are they going to use to get to their destination? Once it is a linear, you just need to write it down that y is equal to ax plus plus b. Right? If this is the mapping, the given mapping is a linear, then this is the bus that they are going to, or this is their medium of transportation, right? So this is one thing that can pick them to their destination. Now the key here is that you just need to know exactly where these people are coming from. You have your A, you have your X as well as B, right? So don't let these things get it. They are just numbers. So let's see how to find them. If you want to determine the values of the A here, right? So the A here is there. So the difference in what in the codomain here, right? So the difference in the codomain. So that is what we have 2, right? So our A here will be equal to the difference in the down here, right? So the difference after subtracting what we had. So that is we have 2, and then everything divided by the difference of from the top, right? So from the top here, you had the difference to be 1, 1, 1, 1. So divided by what? 1. So, okay, so divided by 1. So we had this thing to be equal to 2, right? So this is exactly the value of the A. Now that we know the A, is that okay? Okay, now for you to determine the B, you needed to use these people, which is the X and the Y, right? For you to arrive at what? The B. So the A here is just the difference from what? From the down here. The difference from the down here, and then divided by what? The difference from what? From the top. So okay, so here I'm having what? A to be equal to 2. Now, if you want to use the determine the values of the B here, that is going to base on these 3 things, right? So it's going to base on all these people, right? Just like the entire family depends on the head of the family in some society, right? Okay. Now, so here your X and the Y here, you just need to choose, right? So meaning that choosing, because if you pick you from this house, maybe let's say you are here, you are the first person that the bus is going to convey you to your destination. If you pick you from here, you are going to what? The first room. Assuming, right? So the room are being numbered. So the first person is going to the first room. So you just have to pick. So your X and Y here. So you are picking this X here, the first person, and then if you pick this person, where are you going to dump that person. So you are going to dump that person into the another first room again. So this is what one people, right? So someone may choose to go forward this number, right? So this one can also be what 4, comma then and then what 7. Is that okay? If you pick this guy here, then this person is going to a room number or number 7. Is that okay? So you have to make sure that you are picking something what in pairs. We don't care which one you go for. Right? For simplicity, I would advise you to go for the simplest number here. So without wasting time, I will go for 1 1, right? So that is very, very simple because no one likes to set a difficult question for himself or herself, right? So I'll go for what 1 1. Of course, all the numbers here will work. Is that okay? All the numbers here will work, right? Okay, so if you are going forward, 1 1 1 1, so meaning that our y is 1 and the x is also what 1. And then we had a 2 to be what? To be the a, right? So we are just replacing. So if you want to replace, then we have here y to be what 1. That is equal to, we are not doing anything to the equal to, then a was what was 2, and then we had what the x to be 1. Put that into bracket very nicely, and then finally what plus b, right? Have you seen the picture? So we are just what we place. This is very, very simple and then straightforward, right? So if you do this calculation here, we are going to have 1 that is equal to 2 multiplied by that. That should be 2 and then plus b, right? So solving for the b here, we had b to be what? -1, right? So if you don't know how to, so I subtract 1 from here, subtract 1 from here, and then do the calculation, right? If you have any question, just comment down below. So you just need to solve this, and then you had your b to be equal to -1. Is that okay? Now, finally, how do you write out your final solution? For you to write your final solution, right? This is what we know. This is what we know. We are just going to replace only the a and the b. Then we leave the x and the what and the y. We leave the x and the y. The reason is that we have more than what one person going to what that college, and then they are all going to different rooms. That is why we are leaving the x and what and the y in this case, right? So by the a and the b are just some numbers that we cannot do anything with that. So for you to write the final rule of for your mapping is going to be y equal to, what is the a? A was 2, right? So you put the 2 here, whatever the number may be. In this case, it's 2, and then plus what b. B was what? A -1, right? So put what? So this is the rule of the mapping. If you want to rewrite it, that should be y equal to what? 2s and then -1, right? So this is the rule for that mapping, right? So thank you for watching this. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the videos.